Hi there, I'm Aaron Vissia, and I was fortunate enough to be invited to the Bulldogs practice today. We're here at the multiplex in Port Alberni. This is David Michaud. You are the owner, the boss, the guru to go to.
Small owner, but I am the boss.
Yes,
yeah.
So I'm talking to the right guy.
Yeah,
it's a good place to start. So David, last time you chatted with us, I know you had an interview with Nancy a while back, but going back 3 years ago is the last time I did this.
Yeah.
Spoke to Joe, yourself, and you were telling us about how everything was getting going. It was brand new, you just got involved, and then things started to happen.
Yeah.
We rolled into COVID.
Yeah.
Take it from there. How did you get through all that?
Well, hard work, I guess, would be the easiest way to put it. I think the Bulldogs are really fortunate to be a part of the BCHL, and as a league, we were really committed to making sure that we could get through COVID, and these were the athletes we cared most about. So all of our decisions through COVID were, how do we get our players on the ice? How do we get them to NCAA programs, because that's the goal here, and really try to help them not lose a season of hockey. And when you kind of navigate those waters, I mean, I say I'm lucky to sit on the BCHL Board of Governors, obviously, but I also sit on the executive committee, and that's a blessing and a curse, because you know what's coming and the things you're working on. But so I could see we were struggling. It was not easy to get through this. Obviously, we were trying to get every grant we could get, and whatever public assistance was out there, we took advantage of it. So a lot of maybe sleepless nights behind the scenes, but what was important was I don't think the guys really paid attention to it. They got to practice every day. Obviously, they missed playing games and traveling and doing all the things that they're accustomed to doing. But finally, as things sort of started to get better, we were able to host a pod season here in Port Alberni, which was, for our guys, really spectacular, and from an organizational standpoint, also really important, because we were the only team that didn't have to travel. So we saved a lot of money not having to go to Victoria or Nanaimo for every one of our games. They all had to come here. So at the time, too, it was a great economic boon for the city, because nothing was really happening, and all these teams were coming to Port Alberni to play their games and eating in our restaurants and then going home. So it was a good win.
Win-win for the Alberni Valley, definitely.
100%.
And you must be really into hockey, because from what I understand, you got yourself involved in a second team.
Well, I figured if you could get one team through a pandemic, why not start a whole brand new team? And so we launched the Port Alberni Bombers, our Junior B program, which is now in our second season. And for us, that felt like a great opportunity to be a part of the Vancouver Island Junior Hockey League and really create a local stepping stone where, we wanted it to be a little bit younger. I mean, it's the same age level as the Bulldogs, 16 and 20 years old, but where maybe with the Bulldogs we have more 19, 20-year-olds. The Bombers, we wanted to be younger and hopefully more local as well. And so, we've given the Blake Powers and Aiden Seas and players of that nature a chance to stay home and play junior hockey while they hone their craft and hopefully get ready to play for these guys one day.
You stole my next question, because it was going to be, there must be more opportunities about the locals, right?
Yeah, well, the locals are obviously great, but for the Bulldogs, we're always looking for that next player, and sometimes you see really good futures, but we need a development plan. And so having an in-house development plan like the Bombers really gives us an opportunity for not only us to get to know the player and the coaching staff, vice versa. They're here and they can practice with the team. And so you look, Brady McIsaac last year was the Bombers' leading scorer, and now he's on the Bulldogs full-time this year. So hopefully we'll see more of that.
So from the audience perspective, it seems to be a very well-oiled machine. But I'm thinking you're instrumental in that. You wear many hats.
Yeah. I like the duck analogy, where everything looks calm and graceful on top of the water, but underneath the flippers are paddling. But it's fun. It's what I love to do. I always say I never work a day in my life, and I feel I've been really blessed to be able to make a living and what I love. I know not everyone gets that chance, and so I don't take that for granted. And coming here, 4 years ago when we started this thing, and moving here to be a full-time resident in Port Alberni last fall has just been awesome for Jasmine and I. It's been a great thing for us personally. But we're excited about what we're building here. I mean, I came from Penticton. My program before that, I went to national championships and won a lot. And I didn't want this to be a loser. I didn't want to come here and just be okay. And I think Joe's done a great job on the hockey side to push us into the upper echelon of BCHL teams.
Sounds good. We'll talk to Joe in a bit. And I mean, you mentioned building, and that's what you're doing, and that's what you continue to do. Is there an end? Is there a goal that you're heading for?
I think Port Alberni can be the development hub for hockey and for sure the North Island, but I have bigger sights. I mean, I've had some in-depth conversations with how do we keep pushing and keep growing, and anyone who pays attention to our marketing, you know, we're trying to turn the Alberni Valley into Hockey Valley, and that's something that, you know, was really special to me, that chance to cultivate an environment. You know, we're starting to see the fans take notice of that and say we are Hockey Valley, and you know, the crowds we've been getting of late, people keep referring to it like the good old days, and it's no secret that Alberni had some of the most passionate fans in the league. 1,854 used to be the attendance here every single night, and that's a sellout in this building, and it struggled. My first year we had just over 900 fans a game. Now we're well over 1,200 fans a game consistently, and have nights like a couple weeks ago where it was 1,600 in the building, right? And so, you know, it takes time. I don't begrudge anyone who didn't want to come out and support a team that wasn't a lot of fun to watch or anything, but I think the word is getting out that this is a real fun hockey team to watch, and Joe and Ryan are doing a great job, and our players have bought in and committed. And man, if you're a young guy from, I don't care if it's Ontario, Minnesota, New York, wherever it is, you're coming a long way to call Port Alberni home for the winter. And it can go one of two ways. You can either play in an empty building or a full building. And I know these guys just get so passionate and so fired up when they know it's a big crowd, and the results are showing on the ice.
And definitely, we can't give you all the praise. I'd like to, but you're surrounded by a lot of help of a lot of different individuals, volunteers. You probably can't say enough about them.
No, you know, it's what makes this place really special. I mean, I feel lucky when I got control of the Bulldogs. You know, the first guy I hired was Joe, and I knew Joe from Merritt when I was in Penticton. You know, we mostly got the upper hand on Joe when I was in Penticton, but I was very intrigued by the teams that he built and how hard they worked, and they always gave us a tough time. So I knew bringing Joe in, the identity of our program was going to be set. And then you look at the people who have been volunteering here since this building opened, and they're here every game night making sure everything goes smooth. It's a team on the ice, and it's definitely a team off the ice to make it all work.
That's Port Alberni with a heart, and it's been going on for many years before you come here, and it'll probably carry on after you go, but hopefully you're staying for a long time.
I hope so too.
So one more question. I remember in the interview you did 3 years ago, you mentioned it's about the players, it's about the kids. This is why I do it, correct?
Yeah, 100%. It's not for the money. You know, it's hey, we're gonna spend over $1 million this year for the first time. Our operating budget's gonna, you know, exceed $1 million. Like, things aren't getting cheaper, and you know, so for me, everything I do, I put the lens on as how does this help us attract quality players, and then when we have those quality players, how do we make sure it's a good experience for them, and they go home to wherever they're from in the summer and say that was awesome. I really loved my time in Port Alberni. And you know, we have players to this day who go to school and then still come back and go spend a weekend at their billet's house in the summer. You know, and so these are the guys that it's important for, and it's what I'm proud of is moving these guys on and getting them that opportunity at the next level. And I'd love for them all to be NHL hockey players. It's probably not going to happen. Don't tell them that though. Let's let the dream live on. But you know, if you can play junior hockey in a great market like this in front of a bunch of passionate fans, and they'll go get your college paid for and play 4 years of NCAA hockey, and then go start your life with an education and, you know, hopefully 8 years of great memories of playing high level hockey. It's a pretty good way to start your life as an adult.
Absolutely. The alumni list from Port Alberni continues to grow.
Yeah, it's strong. I mean, we're almost we're well over 100 NCAA players committed during the Bulldogs time here. Like, we have 11 on this year's team, and growing. We'll have more before the season's over. So Joe works really tirelessly with the NCAA coaches and making sure that they're aware of our players' talents, and that they've got a good spot that's going to be a good place for them to go and continue to. And it's, you know, obviously the hockey is a part of it, but you actually have to go to school when you go play college hockey. So is the school a good fit? Is the program a good fit? And Joe does a great job with Tom McAvey. I mean, we could not do the educational side without Tom, which is just massive. So
more of that volunteer support.
100%. Yeah.
And you still have local ownership as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that was very important to our group when we took over, that we had local partners. And, you know, at the time, if you reflect back, I lived in Victoria at the time, so I wasn't here every night. And so it was real important to have somebody like Stephanie Weber and Dennis C. in the ownership group who, you know, could be in town and wave the flag when I wasn't here. But when COVID struck and it was real evident, I had to roll up the sleeves and get dirty, came here. But, I mean, Dennis and Stephanie are hyper involved in all levels and especially game nights. So
right on. So I want to thank you for having us out here. It's great to watch the guys practice. Actually, we'd like to meet the guys.
Yeah.
Can we kind of, with your permission, we want to maybe
100%. It looks they're winding down now. So yeah, go say hi.
Hey, I'm Chase Klassen. I'm from Victoria, BC. I'm number 27 and I play forward.
Hey, I'm Campbell Arnold, goaltender from Nanaimo, BC. My name is Dakota Macintosh, number 14, and I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
I'm Andrew John Vasko from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Nick Beneteau, Windsor, Ontario.
That's the kind of skating. There we go.
Hey, I'm forward Zeke Nicholson, number 11 for the Bulldogs. Hey, my name's Logan Holm. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Mason Croucher, number 6 from Victoria, BC.
Hi, I'm Tristan Taylor, number 7 for the Bulldogs, and I'm from Anmore, BC.
Hi, my name is Will Alger. I'm from Lewis Center, Ohio, number 25.
Hi, my name is Owen Desley. I'm from Airdrie, Alberta.
Hi, my name is Caden Tremblay, number 15 from Port Alberni, BC, and I play defense.
Hey, my name is Charbonneau from Montreal, Quebec, wearing number 3, defenseman.
Hey there, I'm Matthew Malta, number 22 from Montreal, and I'm a forward.
Jax Wismer, number 8, play defense, and I'm from Aurora, Ontario.
Hi, my name's Cam Van Sickle, number 21, forward for the Bulldogs. I'm from North Pole, Alaska.
Hi, I'm number 12, Matt Kersonis from West Boylston, Massachusetts.
I'm number 9, Ethan Bono from Port McNeill, BC, and I play center.
I'm Brady McIsaac, number 28, forward from Prince George, BC.
Gotta have the goalie.
Hi, I'm Hobie Hedquist from here in Lake, Minnesota.
Well, there's the players, and obviously they're from all over the map, so maybe it's time to talk to their coach. Well, I finally caught up with the coach of the team, Joe Martin, head coach, the Alberni Valley Bulldogs. How you doing, Joe?
Good. Yourself?
Good, really good. So last time I did an interview for Shaw Cable was 3-4 years ago, and it was with you. And literally David said, hey, why don't you come out of retirement and do another one with Joe? And I thought, what a great idea. So here I am. So you got to bring me up to speed on all those things that happened in the last 3 years.
That's a lot, the last 3 years.
Start at the beginning. You came here, you moved to town,
Yeah.
You brought your family.
Yeah.
You're all settled in.
Yeah, well, the little guy just started sleeping in his own bed, and when he first moved here, he was
a few months old.
3 months old. So there's been a lot of changes. The other guy's 8 and really into mountain biking in the area here, so it's settling into the community. Obviously, it's been a lot longer. Or sorry, we settled in a while ago now. It's been like you said, it's almost been 4 years since we've been here. So last summer was a great summer, and getting to know the island a bit more, getting around camping and doing some things that some places I've never been before. So it was nice to never leave the island. And I'm kind of when we used to have to come here during the BCHL season when I was coaching in Merritt, the island was a place you'd like to go to, but it was like, it's such a drag getting on the ferry and going to the island, and I don't want to get off now. So it's kind of vice versa. It's been completely turned around, and always loved it here from afar, but now it's as you know, there's some pretty amazing places here, and we're pretty lucky obviously in this valley. And but hockey's what brought us here, and the Bulldogs have made a lot of changes too over the time, and enjoying a current good stretch right now. And it's been a not an up and down year, but I'd say a gradual growth year, but currently it's been a lot of fun.
So let's go right back to the beginning. You know, when I first met you, were you just starting getting to know the players? You hadn't even met everybody yet. What did you start with, and what sort of things did you have to do to get to where you're at today?
I guess, yeah, we inherited a group of, I think our captain that year was Mitch Deelstra, really good player. He was off enjoying a college career at Ferris State. Stevie Castagna was the captain the year after, and Stevie was in his first year or second year when I started here. He's now at Bentley University. So I think kind of where it started really was with that core group, identifying those core kids or core men, and really understanding who they are as people, and how we had like-minded visions of where we wanted to be as a team, and constantly recruiting kind of the same type of kid. And I'd say the last 2 years we've really found a way to get a lot of them. I'd say in the first year that I was here, it's we had a handful of those guys, and now we've got a whole group that are kind of almost not the same player, but the same determination. There's a lot of good characteristics, and as you can hear behind me, they like to have fun and work hard. And you know, I'd say Mitch and Stevie and Josh Zeri were kind of the guys and there's other guys obviously I'm missing, but those are the three leaders for us that helped us be where we are today.
Yeah. So obviously lots of challenges along the way. One major one being COVID. How did you overcome going through COVID and keeping the spirit up on the guys, and you know, keeping them playing and involved?
Well, I think it's, you know, as we went through, as it got later and later through that time, I think it was pretty easy for them to keep upbeat. They're pretty healthy guys, and I don't think they were letting that, you know, I don't mean to downplay it, but they weren't letting that sickness, that virus get them down. It wasn't a thing that really, to be honest, never really affected the group at all. It seemed to be affecting the world and affecting other things, but here with our group, it never caught on. I don't know the right terminology, but it never got. We never lost players due to a significant amount of time. There was never players that needed to be extra care. But we couldn't have fans, and we couldn't have like the league traveling around. There's a lot of regulations that held us back, but our guys were ready to go and were ready to compete. So the hardest thing was the mental challenge, because everything else was physically fine. Mentally, I think we were stuck on February 2nd every day of that hockey season, and that was draining. And I credit the people in the community. I credit the billets. I credit our billet coordinator, anybody that's on the staff, to somehow keep a positive environment and keep these guys here and doing what they love, so that they could eventually move on. Because it was, like, for me, showing up every day and doing drills, it's very important. And even today, it's important. It's because I'm in Powell River on Friday, and I'm in Powell River on Saturday. So there's something for me that's always motivating me to help these guys, because there's games coming up, there's playoffs coming up, there's a college career coming up. And at that time, we didn't know what was going to happen on the weekend. We didn't know if we were going to play, and well, there's a long time we knew we weren't playing at all. So the motivating factor had to come from others, and I really credit just a lot of people that were constantly helping us out, because like I said, the group that was on the ice, they were always healthy and always ready to go. They just kind of had no direction.
So you already didn't let COVID bother you, but obviously there's challenges along the way to build a team and get them to bind. What have been your challenges?
Well, that's a good question. What have been my challenges? I'd say from last year to this year, the biggest challenge was we lost a couple players that had a lot of experience. And there's a lot of players that are on this year's team that have the same experience, but they've kind of been underneath those guys. And now it's their time to get their voice. And that takes a little bit of time to really understand how to do. It takes time to understand how to be a leader. Being a leader is not an easy thing. I've been coaching now in this league for, I think this is my 12th year. You get more confident every year that you do things, because you have so many examples to draw from, and so many mistakes and so many things that also worked out. So you can draw on those. You can talk to people that have been in the game for a long time. They can help you with a few things. But as a player, they're always the same age. So their experience really isn't going to really start paying off until they're 19 and 20, and until they go into college, and then they have to start all over again. So I think here after Christmas in 2023, Chase Klassen, Nick Beneteau, Matthew Malte, Emmanuelson Charbonneau, Who else has been on this team? There's been a couple guys on this team like for 3 or 4 seasons, and now all that experience is really starting to pay off.
It rubs off on the younger guys.
For sure, yeah. Those younger guys, they seem quite a bit older already.
Right.
And it's earlier on, they were constantly those younger guys, constantly those inexperienced players, but now they've taken a huge step because I think their leaders have taken a big step.
Yeah. And you're right, being a leader is not easy, and I always say if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, and obviously everybody can't, but you want to try to get the whole team to lead. Tell me about some of the successes you've experienced.
We just came off a 10-game winning streak. That's quite a success. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been seeing a lot of guys personally play really well. We've had like I said, a couple of our captains all moving on to college hockey, our 20-year-olds all going on to college hockey, university hockey, and that's something that I want every year is that the guys, when they leave this program, that they know that they're going to go on to something bigger and better, but more just a new challenge and a new part of life, and they get to use their time in Alberni wisely to go on and further their success. So I think that's my if there's ever I'm not thinking about leaving a legacy or anything like that, but if there's ever a way that you want to pass on something, you want to be able to help these guys, when they're my age down the road, that they thought their time in Alberni was really important to their future, and I want to make sure that we're constantly doing that. But with this group especially, I think the biggest thing that I'm most proud of these guys is there's been before Christmas we were playing pretty up and down, but we really didn't have that. When you watched us play, there wasn't that killer instinct. It was pretty good hockey by a bunch of pretty good players. Yeah. But you watch them now, it's very good, dominating hockey by a bunch of really good players that have, I think, matured in a way that really are finding out who they are as young men, and that's the most important thing. I think it's getting guys to really believe in themselves. Not getting that. It's nothing that I necessarily did, but through the osmosis of this team, they're learning how to really push themselves internally and really believe in themselves. And once you get that, these guys can really soar and really do a lot of amazing things. But if you never get that, you really never know how good you are.
Yeah, I hear you. And Joe, I think it's perfectly fine if you want to leave a legacy. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Speaking of which, that's okay. You can do it. All right. Speaking of which, last time we talked, which is 3 or 4 years ago, I asked you about goals. And it's okay. One of the goals you said was to win the island. So where are we at with that?
Yeah, we...
COVID hit right after that, so you've got an out there.
Yeah, well, I think... I don't think we had a team to do it until last year. This year, I believe, no offense to last year's team, but this year I believe we're a better team. I'm a better coach. I think that we have a lot of players returning from last year that got that experience. I think we should have won in the second round of the playoffs, and we didn't win, and that was tough for us. We would have had Nanaimo next, and Nanaimo was an outstanding hockey team. But I think this year there's this confidence with this group, and you still have to going and doing it is the hardest thing. Yeah. But believing you can do it is a big step, and I don't really think that we had that belief. We had a lot of players that had been through some tough times, just been on some okay junior teams, and to be a really good junior team takes much more than having talent. You need a lot of other things to fall into place, and I think the number one thing is the attitude. And there's some guys in this team that have attitude, and I like it. It's pointed in the right direction, and so we have an opportunity to do it. Whether or not we do it, maybe we'll have that interview then.
Yeah, I mean, we both know to be the winner, it doesn't just take the physical ability, but also the mental ability too.
Yeah, for sure. That's a huge thing. I think that's where this year we're really taking a stride there in the mental ability. I guess our mental capacity is moving forward. There's just some real big belief with these guys and who they are as individuals. It is swagger, it is confidence, but because they're all good teammates, I think it's all pointed in the right direction.
Awesome. Sounds like a good bonded team you got going.
Yeah, I think so.
So let's give you one more chance to set another goal here. What do you think?
Let's get to the league finals.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
That's the same goal as winning the island, because if you win... Actually, back then, there was 3 divisions. So now there's only 2 conferences, so there's no more winning the island, because the island is amalgamated with the Lower Mainland. So it's if we rule Vancouver and Vancouver Island, we're in good shape.
Look forward to that. I hope it happens for you.
Thank you. Me too.
Best luck, Joe. Thank you very much for the interview today. Best luck for the rest of the season. You do have a great bunch of guys here, and Port Alberni's pretty excited to have you here. So keep up the good work, and maybe I'll come back in a year or two and we'll do another interview.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So also on the ice today, we have Ryan Rehill, the assistant coach of the Alberni Valley Bulldogs. You obviously play an integral part of getting this team together and making them win. So nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
And how long have you been in Port Alberni?
I lived here for just over 3 years. It's my first year coaching and first year with the team, though.
Excellent. So how do you like it so far?
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah, I love the town. It's been great so far.
Yeah. How do you like working with the team?
Love it even more. I'm a teacher by trade, so last year I taught full-time in Parksville. I got the opportunity to come and join the staff full-time, and it's been awesome. I've loved every minute of it.
So you left teaching to come teach Bulldogs team?
I did. Not completely. I get a couple days a week subbing in the morning, so I still kind of have my hands in teaching, but I definitely enjoy coaching a lot more.
Excellent. And what grades do you teach?
When I was teaching full-time, it was mostly grade 8, language arts, social studies, some phys ed, and now most of the mornings I get are with elementary kids, so the younger guys.
Excellent. So there's obviously some spark in this team. You guys have had a bit of a winning streak going on. What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. Could be a lot of things. The guys came back after the break and just kind of seemed reviving with a lot of energy, and you know, they've been competing and working really hard in practice and in games, and bounces have been going our way. The guys have been doing lots of good things on the ice, and they've been getting rewarded for it. Last game, obviously, we didn't. We lost in overtime, but that's going to happen. We weren't expecting to win out the rest of the season by any means. We'll just look to get back to winning again the next game and just keep working on competing and playing the right way and let the results fall where they may.
Fantastic. So what's your role as assistant coach? What's your main duties here?
A lot of what I do is with the defensemen. I was a defenseman when I played, so it's kind of my area of expertise, and then just a lot of skill work with the guys and working on getting them better, and basically whatever Joe needs me to do, I do it as best I can.
Yes, sir. Perfect. And what level of hockey did you play?
I played in the Western League for 4 years in Kamloops, and then after that I played youth sport hockey at the University of Alberta for another 4 before moving out here.
Right on. Anything you want to comment on, say about the Alberni Valley? You obviously are all settled in here?
Yeah, all settled in. My girlfriend and I have bought a house last May, so we're really settled in, and it's just been great. We found that we've loved Port Alberni more and more the longer we stay, so we don't have any plans to leave, and it's kind of started to feel like home for us really quickly, and it's just been great. And now that I'm coaching and enjoying that so much more, it's just things keep falling into place, so it's great. Hopefully that keeps happening. It's
a fantastic, good testament to the community, and it's a great place to raise a family. So welcome to Port Alberni, and we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Well, it was a cold afternoon in the arena here today, but I had a lot of fun hanging out with the team, talking to the coach, the assistant coach, and the owner, and I think we got a pretty good team here for the Alberni Valley, so continue to support and watch them. And I'm Aaron Vissia. This is Up Front for Shaw TV.